Between the age of 14 and 15, suddenly I developed very strong acne on my face and on my body. Then I had appendicitis, which took me to the hospital to surgery. And just a few months after, I also had an inguinal hernia that also took me to the hospital, like in a very short time. And back then, I had no idea what caused it. And even when I studied medicine and I became a doctor, I also didn't know what caused all these symptoms in my body. But when I learned the 5 biological laws and I started practicing and going deeper and deeper into it, it became absolutely clear what, in that moment of my life, triggered each one of the symptoms, which almost killed me. I learned after many years of meditation and therapy and working with myself, I learned how it was a very unique traumatic experience I had when I was 14 years old, where I felt really humiliated, betrayed, and many other emotions, and I was completely alone. I had really no help, nobody to share with, nobody to express what I was going through. So this very complex situation I lived with such an intense emotional component, everything stayed inside my system. And it started creating imbalances in these different organs that then gave me the symptoms. I'm just explaining it in general. I could give you a half an hour talk of exactly what happened, what feeling created what symptom. Now back then, of course, I went to the hospital, I had 2 surgeries, so medicine really saved my life. So medicine is also very valuable. But afterwards, when I understood all of this other big part of what really happened to me, this gave me such a deep feeling of compassion to myself, understanding to my own past, and really gratitude to my body also. So, and of course, I learned a lot from that, because there are very strong situations I experienced, which later on also reflected in many things in my life. So it gives a much, much deeper healing when we really understand all of this. You don't need to be like extremely intelligent or something to see how much medicine is missing, is lacking. It's very evident to see how medicine always establishes a battle with a symptom, a war against cancer, war against AIDS, war against this, etc., etc. Yet it never cures it. It keeps attacking with medications and this and surgery and all the time the same. But people don't get healthier. People, as a matter of fact, the more they take conventional medicine, they get sicker and sicker. So people eventually just become conscious of this and they start looking for other things. And then, of course, I have had many other symptoms in my body throughout my life. So I've explored every single one of them. And it becomes absolutely clear through this new approach what the body does. And then I started, of course, applying it with my patients, teaching it. So for like 8 years now, I teach this all over the world, which is what I call Bodhi Medicine. So he was one of these persons in the history of humanity that brings a completely new paradigm, in this case to health, to the world of health. It's the same like Socrates or Jesus or so many other people in the history of humanity, that when they bring a new paradigm, a new understanding of reality, society does not accept it, and usually they attack them or they even kill them. So this is exactly what happened to Dr. Hammer. So everything he discovered went a little bit underground for almost 20 years. And it started coming out around 2005, more or less. And since then, many of us doctors in other countries, we are teaching it and we are really making it as public as possible. Now, it's not so accepted really, almost in no country, because it's like really an upgrade completely. Like most doctors in the health system lives in a old expired version of the human body, of the human health. And most of them don't want to do this new upgrade because it implies that they will need to change many things for themselves with how they treat their body, with how they deal with their emotions, and personal issues in order to be able to support other people. So most doctors don't want to do this. They want to keep doing the same automatic, robotic, mechanic way of just giving a diagnosis and a pill.